Welcome back to FM Storey. We're into the second half of season 3 of this series with Milan, and things went exceptionally well in that last episode. We've managed to make it into the last 16 of the Champions League by finishing 8th in the league phase, which is a great achievement, having lost the opening 3 games of the league phase. We've strengthened the squad with the addition of Victor Osimhen for 64 million in the January transfer window, and we're well clear at the top of the table. But first up, we've got the quarter-final of the Coppa Italia against Napoli, who are having a decent season. They're sat 4th in the league. Without further ado, let's get into the action. So, time for the quarter-final of the Coppa Italia, home against Napoli. As you can see, there's been a couple of shocks so far in Bologna knocking out Juventus, Sassuolo knocking out Inter, and with a Rome derby in the other quarterfinal. We have made a couple of changes from the team that played the last game at the end of the last episode against Juventus. Sotel, who played so well in the second half, come in for Chukwueze, and Morata's coming up top for Osimhen, just because both of them only just back from the African Cup of Nations. Both of them need a bit of a rest, and hopefully we should have enough to get a result here. Osimhen had barely started for them earlier on in the season before we signed him in January, and the reason was that they were starting Lukaku. Luckily, by the looks of it, Lukaku is not available, so hopefully we can pick up a victory here to see ourselves into the semi-finals. So it's 4-2-3-1 against the back 5, with a couple of wingers and a centre forward for them. Conte is still in charge of Napoli. Not much happening early on. We've had very little of the ball though. Right, a throw for them deep in their half. Can we nick it back? Gilmore out. They're comfortable knocking it around at the back, but they're not really progressing forward, and they're giving the ball away. Morata nicks in before the keeper. What was that? I don't know what that was as an effort at goal. Right, they've put a ball out wide. It's nicked by Theo Hernandez. Rafael bring it forward. Bundy. Reinders out to Traciano on the right. Low ball into the box. Morata's shot deflected behind for a corner. Profundi to take it. Whips it towards the back post. Morata with a powerful header. The keeper does well to turn it behind. And we've got a corner on the other side, and hopefully we can make the pressure count. Bacciarina into the near post this time. Headed clear as far as Profundi, and they managed to get it further clear. Ball goes past Morata and through to the other centre half. They've tried to play it out to the left, but it's cut out. Reinders now into the box, and Merritt turns it over for another corner. Bacciarina to whip it with his right foot. Looks like it's going to the back post, this one. Gone deep. The keeper's come and claimed it. Another corner. Bacciarina take again. Deep. Another header that we've managed to get, and it's gone over the top this time. And there we are, half-time 0-0. We've had some chances there. We're again a big threat from set pieces. We have 13 corners, and it's unfortunately still 0-0 at half-time, and it looks like we're going to need to make a change and take Leao off. Right, we made the one change at half-time. Leao's gone off, Morata's gone out to the left, and Osimhen's come on through the middle against his former club. Hernandez with a throw to Profundi. Theo Hernandez back to Hato. Bacciarina makes a run, bends it into the bottom corner, and we've started the second half well. We've got ourselves in front. We deserve to be in front based on how we did in that first half. Hato just plays it into Bacciarina, takes the run, uses Osimhen as a bit of a shield, and just passes it into that bottom corner. And then from the kick-off, they're looking to get straight back on level terms. And that's far too easy the way they've got in. Raspadori's in. The keeper's made a save. And it's got me out for a corner. And we need to switch on here. Corner goes deep. A free header for them. Thankfully onto the roof of the net. And we need to wake up. And Theo Hernandez with a throw. Morata knocked off the ball. Graciano gets it back. Going round the outside. Low ball in. Osman scores. Was he onside? And it's been given, I think. Since we've seen a replay of it, Graciano just nicked the ball back. Drives down the outside into the 6-yard box. And Osman at the near post steers it past the keeper against his former club to put us 2-0 up. He's just behind the ball. And a decent finish. Right, we've made a couple of subs to get some more fresh legs on. We've brought Kyle Walker on for Graciano at right back, who was just starting to struggle a bit, and Zaroli's come on in the midfield instead of Reinders. And we've made another couple of subs to get some more fresh legs on. Just to try and see this game out. Right, in injury time, they've got a throw in our half. Whipped into the box. Maignan comes and claims it easily. And then he rolls it out. Scalvini into Zaroli in midfield. A lovely ball. Finds Sotil on the right-hand side. Walker's knocked off the ball, but Scalvini into Zaroli. Benassa finds Morata in the box. He's beating the keeper. We're going to get another VAR check. He might have gone a bit too soon there. But it's been given. And we're going from back to front. Walks knocks off the ball, but Scalvini into Zaroli, quickly moves it on to Benassa, who then picks the pass to match the run from Morata. And he gave the keeper no chance and makes it 3-0, and we're comfortably into the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia, looking to repeat as champions of the Coppa Italia. And there we are, full-time 3-0. The game started pretty slowly, but in the end, a pretty dominant performance, and we're through to the semi-finals. So we're now approaching the end of March. We've got one game before the international break at the end of the month. And we're still top of the table. We're well clear at the top of the table. And things have carried on going pretty well in all competitions, basically. So after the Coppa Italia victory against Napoli, we had them next in the league. We won 1-0. Victor Osimhen going back to Naples and getting the winner. We have played them twice since then as well. Rather bizarrely, but we followed that victory in Naples up with a 5-0 victory away at Udinese. We did then draw 2-2 at home against Genoa, which wasn't a great result, but we won 4-1 away at Cagliari. We then won the first leg of the Coppa Italia semi-final, 4-1 at home against Sassuolo, and then hammered Atalanta 5-0 in the league. And then we got back to Napoli, having knocked them out of the Coppa Italia. We were then drawn against them in the last 16 of the Champions League. And we won an entertaining game, 5-2 in Naples in the first leg. Unfortunately, we lost Papundi to an injury in that game. We then played Sassuolo again, this time in the league, and came from behind with a late winner from Victor Osimhen. And then we drew the second leg of the last 16, 0-0 at home against Napoli to see us into the quarterfinals, where, rather unfortunately, we've been drawn against Real Madrid. And then in the most recent league game, we drew 1-1 at home against Lecce, where we required a 95th minute equaliser from Theo Hernandez. We did pick a pretty rotated team for that game. As far as the league's concerned, we are 9 points clear of Inter, having played a game less than them. We're 11 points clear of Juve, having played the same number of games, and Napoli have dropped off a bit because we're now 22 points clear of them, having played the same number of games as well. So really, unless we collapse horrendously, titles should be ours again. We have had, though, the youth intake, and it actually looks fairly promising when you look at the players that have kind of come through. Certainly, I mean, there's a couple of decent players in the good talents, but the top talents look pretty decent. Zenga comes in and, I mean, probably is potentially long-term a really good goalkeeper for us. Although the volatile, media-friendly, confrontational media handling style with a low self-belief personality doesn't strike me as maybe being the best going forward. Fermenti, who can play midfield or a push up front, decent first touch technique, aggression. The physicals obviously going to need a bit of work, but it's going to be a while before he's going to be anywhere near the first team setup. Ciano, centre half, 6'1", some decent physicals, but again, a long way before he's going to be ready for the first team. Manzoni, defensive midfielder, looks to be pretty promising as well. And an English centre forward in Jordan Ings is going to need to really, really develop. He's going to have anything to do in our first team setup. We've got a game coming up against Palermo. We have a few players out through suspension injury. So do they. They're down in 14th in the league. And hopefully we can pick up another 3 points here and extend our lead at the top of the table. Oh, this is the side we've picked for the trip to Palermo. We are missing Profondi and Bacciarina with injury. So Zeroli's partner in Benassa in midfield with Reinders behind Osman. Rafael's been out injured. He's fit enough to be on the bench, but certainly not to start. And hopefully we can go out and put in a performance. Juve have won their game 5-1 comfortably. A corner for us, Benassa drills it into the near post. Osman heads it down, Sortel in off the post. I'm not quite sure how these kits have been allowed. Pink and other different shades, but it is a bit of a mess. But the corner's whipped in. It's cleared in front of the goalkeeper. Osman heads it down, and Sortel hits the ball, gets over it, and in off the post. Benassa with a free kick goes for goal. I don't know that that was even on target, but the keeper turns it behind for a corner from the other side. Reinders to take it. Deep. We've got a header on it. And again, the keeper, I don't think, had to save that one, but it's gone behind for another corner. Reinders floats it to the back post this time, and it's headed clear. And Sortel tidies it up. And then we've given it away, but thankfully it doesn't come to anything. Right, Reinders with a corner. A flat one. It's headed clear, and Hato nods it down. Chukwueze fires home, and we're 2-0 up after 17 minutes, and this hopefully is going to be a pretty comfortable victory the way things have started. I mean, we are a real threat from set pieces this season, it would appear. Benassa with a free kick into the box. It's flicked on, but it just goes straight through to the goalkeeper. He then chips it forward. And we win the header, but then give it away in midfield. And they're looking to attack down their left. The cross is deflected. It came back off the crossbar, and that was nearly a weird way to let them back into the game. But Theo Hernandez bringing it clear. Sortel finds Zeroli in acres of space, Lovely ball over the top for Osimhen. Back to Chukwueze, squares it. Benassa comes onto it. Just hammers it past the keeper. And that's 3-0. And the 3 points should be secure now. Osimhen does well. Brings it under control. Finds Chukwueze, who takes a touch and just squares it to the penalty spot. And Benassa, arriving unmarked, fires it past the keeper. And Benassa with another free kick. Goes for goal off the woodwork, and they've scrambled it clear. Sotil gives it away on the edge of their area. Now they're looking to break, but nothing comes of it. And as we approach injury time, they've got a throw. And they've bypassed our midfield there into the box. And Mike Maignan makes a great save to keep the clean sheet intact. The corner for them into the near post. It's headed clear and out for a throw in. And there we are, half time. Pretty strong performance for us in that first half. We've given the ball away in some stupid places, but we've managed to restrict the chances that they've had. And more of the same in the second half, I think. No changes at half time, but there will be changes before long, just to give some players a bit of a break. I mean, when you look at the player ratings, we've had a outstanding performance so far. They've gone long with a goal kick. We've won a header. Coming back at us, though. Sotil gets back to win it. Hato into Zeroli. Out to Chukwueze. Scalvini. Back to Chukwueze. And Reinders now. Sotil. And cutting in field. Finds Straciano on the right. Looks to go round the outside. Gets to the byline. Still going. Pulls it back. And Ryan just is able to turn on the edge of the 6-yard box and fires home to make it 4-0. And Traciano did brilliantly. Just goes round the outside, keeps going. You almost think he's gone too far. Then picks out Ryan. His first touch is brilliant, and he swivels and beats the keeper. Right, we've made some changes just to give some players a bit of a break. Try to give Leao some game time as well to build his fitness back up. Right, Volpato with the corner to the near post, the header, and unfortunately it's just over the top. And there we are, full-time 4-0, a truly dominant performance, keeps us in a really strong position at the top of the table. And there we are, the end of another episode, and as we are rapidly approaching the end of season 3 of this save, things could not be going much better. We're 11 points clear at the top of the table with just 8 games left to go. We've got a commanding lead in the semi-final of the Coppa Italia with the second leg to come against Sassuolo. And we're in the quarter-final of the Champions League. Probably the only downside to how things are at the moment is we've been drawn against a Real Madrid team in the quarter-final that still contains Jude Bellingham, Kylian Mbappe, Camavinga, Vinicius and Valverde. So it's going to be a tough task to try and make it into the semi-finals of the Champions League or even further. But we're in a strong position to at least do another domestic double. So join us next time to see how many trophies we can end season 3 with. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.